Hey everybody, it is a few days before the start of the pirate event on December 1st, 2022, and we do have an early look at the pirate content. So let's check out the ships and the commanders real quick. First up is the Caprice, Tier 7 British destroyer, which is based on the Tier 7 French destroyer Lafondre, and its commander is Ariadne M. Davis. Let's go ahead and check her out real quick. Base trait is Labyrinth of Prowess, which improves the torpedo launcher reload time and the cooldown time for all consumables. The inspirations I have is Double Concealment Inspiration, Eric Bay Shifty, which improves the destroyer detectability, and Deng Shishang Quantum of Solace, which improves the destroyer detectability and its torpedo damage. And then for the skills, I have Subsurface Venture for the torpedoes. Torpedo speed is improved and launcher reload time is improved, but you do take a hit on the main battery reload. And the second skill is Look at Me Now, which improves the sea detectability range. So this is the best concealment you will get with this setup. Third skill is Perceptive, which improves the incoming damage to your destroyer and its torpedo detectability range, but it does show the direction of the closest enemy ship, and this is probably the most important feature of Perceptive, at least for me. Smoke on the Water is the fourth skill, which improves the smoke screen dispersion and its deployment. And then we have Unstoppable, which improves the engine repair time, allows for reduced mobility with a disabled engine and or rudder, and the special effect is a damage control party cooldown time, and it is active when you're within 4.5 kilometers of an enemy ship. Ranking up to legendary rank 4, that radius will go up to 7.5 kilometers. So as far as the upgrades for the Caprice, I've selected Aiming Systems Mod 1, which improves the dispersion of the main battery and the torpedo launcher traverse speed. And then I've selected Propulsion Mod 2 since the ship turns pretty well without any modifications. Time taken to reach full power is improved by 50%. And then we went with Concealment Mod 1. Detectability range is improved by 10%, and the incoming fire dispersion is improved by another 5%. And this doubles up on your incoming fire dispersion benefit from your camo or your premium skin. And then the last upgrade is a torpedo launcher. Reload time is improved by 15%, though you do have a risk of the torpedo launchers being incapacitated. And loadout here, Smoke Generator is what I went with rather than the main battery reload booster. I'm looking more for a torpedo setup here, and I wanted a smoke screen rather than to get into a gun battle actually. So duration here on the smoke screen is 10.4 seconds. It disperses in 41 seconds, so it doesn't really last all that long, but the reload time is 58.3 seconds. You have 6 of those consumables, so probably if you wanted to go with Tier Wit, you might be able to get a Smogathon deal going where you have a new smoke screen before your existing smoke screen disperses. And then we went with the sonar here instead of the speed boost, and that sonar does detect torpedoes at 2.5 kilometers, ships at 3.5 kilometers. Duration is 3 minutes, 180 seconds. Wow. Reloads every 116 seconds, and you have 3 of those consumables. And the camo, we have a Caprice Premium Skin. Sea detectability range and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. Stats, survivability, hit points is 18,500. Armor, do not get hit. Artillery, 5 guns, reach out to 10 kilometers. Reload every 8.3 seconds. Traverse time is okay at 18 seconds. Shell damage is 1,800 with a 17% or 7% chance of setting fire for the HE shells. Armor piercing is 2,500 maximum damage. Torpedoes reload every 68 seconds. You have 9 of those torpedoes, 3 launchers of 3 torpedoes each, and they could be fired singly, single fire torpedoes there. Maximum damage is 18,897, so 19,000 maximum damage here on those torpedoes. Range is 8.3 kilometers, which is pretty good. Speed is 74 knots, which is not terrible. AA defenses is, well, okay. Maybe you'll shoot down a plane, maybe. Maneuverability, 42.7 knots. Turning circle radius is 690 meters. Rudder shift time is 4.3 seconds. And a concealment is 5.2 kilometers. Range by sea. Range by air is 2.9 kilometers. And if you're firing into smoke, and this is kind of important here on this destroyer, 2.8 kilometers. So that is a little less concealment than you would have normally. Normally you like to see that around 2 kilometers, I would think. And yeah, you don't want to get hit here. Agile, above average ability to change direction, and can be equipped with the main battery reload booster, and the torpedoes can be fired sequentially. So then the Caprice was once a French ship, but you know what the pirates say. Take whatever you want and give back nothing. So now naturally, she's part of the British fleet thanks to the fabulous Adrienne M. Davis. In case you're wondering, the ship looks very similar to French Tier 7 destroyer Le Fantastique for some strange reason. Year of design is 1844. All right, well there you go on the setup for the ship and the commander for the Caprice. Let's check out Lafondre, which is based on the Tier 7 French Jean Bart. And here the commander, the pirate commander, is Michel Letier. His base trait is La Barrage, which improves the ship's ATBA shell damage, or secondaries as they used to be known. And the inspirations, I went with Franz von Hipper. I went all in on a secondary setup here for this initial go-around with the ship. Elbow Room, which improves the secondary gun range and its shell grouping. And then I went with Haruna Overwhelm, which improves the secondary gun range and the dispersion of the secondary battery. And then here for the skills, not the one for nuisance. Risk of catching fire is improved, as is the risk of flooding and torpedo damage to the Citadel. I may change that, but this is my first initial setup with the ship. Second skill is Porcupine to really enhance those secondaries yet again. This improves the secondary gun range, shell grouping, and the dispersion. And then Properly Meticulous is the third skill, which improves the secondary battery reload time and does have enhanced secondary targeting for improves that by 20%. And then here I went with the unique skill, I'll Be Back, which improves the fire duration when the damage control party is on cooldown, and the flooding damage to your ship. Both of those are improved by 5%. And yeah, as you rank up, that will go all the way up to 10% if you can max that out at rank 16 Legendary 4. And then I went with Will to Rebuild here, which improves the amount of HP recovered, which currently is 47%. It'll go up to 110% if you get up to Legendary rank 4. And the special effect will auto repair when the HP is equal to or less than 20%. Right now at Legendary rank 2, that radius is 2 kilometers to an allied ship. You go up to Legendary rank 4 and it will go up to 3.5 kilometers. All right, so let's take a look at the setup of the ship here. And here I initially went with the secondary, well, with the main battery mod 2. But since this is a secondary setup here on the initial setup, let's go ahead and switch that out and go with the secondaries. For the second upgrade, I went with the propulsion mod, which improves the time taken to reach full power when accelerating, improves that by 50%. Then I went with the concealment system, mod 1, which improves the detectability range and doubles up on the incoming fire dispersion, adds another 5% to whatever your camo or skin is. And then here I went with the main battery mod 3, but again I'm going to switch this around and I'm going to go with the secondary battery mod 3. Secondary battery reload time is improved by 20%. All right, let's check out the loadouts here. Normal ammunition with the high explosive and armor piercing shells. And then we have 3 repair party consumables here, which will partially restore the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 507 hit points per second. As you go up in Legendary rank, that will dramatically increase, probably close to 700-800 hit points per second on that. Duration is 20 seconds. reloads every 80 seconds, and there are 3 of those. Then you have the main battery reload booster, which is going to be pretty awesome here. It cuts the main battery reload time in half. Duration is 15 seconds, reloads every 180 seconds, so that's every 3 minutes, and you have 2 of those consumables. Here you have the engine boost consumable, and since this is a secondary boost, secondary build, not boost, we're going to go with the enhanced secondary targeting. So we are definitely going all in on a secondary build on the initial setup on Lafondre here. This will improve the secondary battery shell grouping by 100% and a dispersion of the secondary battery by another 50% while that booster is running. Duration is 36 seconds, reloads every 160 seconds, and you have 3 of those consumables. So alright, so boosters here, I'll probably go with the Epic Battle Booster here by the time I take it out in battle. And here is the Premium Skin, Lafondre Premium Skin. C detectability range and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5%. Stats, survivability hit points is 69,000 even, right on the nose. Armor is 18 to 430 millimeter. Torpedo damage reduction is 38%. That's not too bad. Artillery, you have 8 guns. They reach out to 16.5 kilometers. They reload every 27 seconds, but the traverse time is pretty terrible at 36 seconds. HE shell damage is 5,400 with a 36% chance of setting fire, so you might start fires pretty quick here. Our piercing shell damage have a maximum of 11,900, and the secondaries are the big deal here, I think, since we went all in on this build. And let me see, the 100 millimeters have a firing range of 10.3 kilometers. They reload every 2.2 seconds. 1659 shell damage with a 5% chance of setting fire. 152 millimeter secondary armaments also have a 10.3 kilometer range, but they reload every 8.8 seconds. Maximum shell damage, HE shell damage is 2515 with a 12% chance of setting fire, so the secondaries are all high explosive shells. AA defenses is 100, so you will definitely clear the sky if you get in a match with a opportunistic and overly aggressive aircraft carrier commander. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 30 knots. Turning circle radius is 850 meters. Rudder shift time is 12.6 seconds. Concealment detectability range by sea is 13.3 kilometers. Range by air is 11.1 kilometer. And if you're firing into smoke, that detectability range is 14.1 kilometers. All right, so let's take a look at the Lafondre. I don't have the Jean Bart, so I haven't really checked out the armor scheme on the ship before. So let's check out the colors here. And 29 to 33 millimeter thickness here, which is encasing the ship. So that is pretty cool. So all right, so if you're at the right kind of an angle, you're going to be okay in the ship, it looks like. And all right, so let's remove some of this armor and take a look at the Citadel. I have no idea what this looks like. All right, so the Citadel does look pretty good. You do have 29 to 33 millimeter. That is the thinnest right there, exactly on the side. And the Citadel is mostly encased in 34 to 75 millimeter armor. Can cause armor-piercing shells to ricochet at appropriate angle. Resist HE shells up to 203 millimeters. And yeah, you definitely want a bow tank in the Lafondre and probably the Jean Bart. I would guess that's why you see those ships always nose on, because they do have this big time armor in the front and the rear. All right, the overview, it is fast above average maximum movement speed, and barrage can be equipped with the main battery reload booster. I didn't see an option to change that, so it is definitely equipped with the main battery reload booster. So then Lafondre is the favorite vessel of pirate Michel Letier, and it packs quite a punch. Lafondre is the flagship of the French pirate fleet, and for good reasons. She's speedy, agile, and dangerous with her enhanced secondaries. just like any pirate wants their ship to be. If you think she resembles the battleship Jean Bart, you're onto something. Latier spent years creating the ship that bore his idol's name. Year of design is 1688. All right. Well, that's it for the pirate commanders and their ships for December 2022 for the pirate event. Let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.
I can smell the victory.